So I'm gonna come right out the gate and say this. I was not a fan of Kingsman: The Golden Circle, but does The Kingsman provide a great prequel to the series, and was it worth it? Those questions answered in today's review. What's going on, guys? If you're new to the channel, hello. My name is Leo Rydell. This is Geekly Goods, where we talk the latest in movies, TV, with a little sprinkle of anime in there too. If you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button down below, y'all, and I'm here today to review The Kingsman. So what is The Kingsman about? In the early years of the 20th century, the Kingsman Agency is formed to stand against the cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions. This is directed by Matthew Vaughn and stars Ralph Fiennes, Gemma Arterton, Rhys Ifans, Harris Dickerson, Djimon Hounsou, and more, you all. And I gotta start out with the good here, and the good, Ralph Fiennes. I mean, that guy just knows how to bring this exquisite energy to the camera. He is proper, he is exciting. I love this character, and I love the dynamic between him and his son. I think that they really have great on-screen chemistry together that builds later on into the story. I don't want to say too much, but there are some really good build-ups for that relationship, and I absolutely enjoyed that relationship. There's a big twist in the middle that's just crazy I didn't see coming, so really well done on Matthew Vaughn's part, and seriously, I didn't see this coming. Really cool story twist in the middle. I also like the other actors and cast. Some people can be kind of over the top, but we'll get to that in a little bit, but I did really enjoy the cast, and I really did like that score. There are some really cool action sequences as well. I really enjoyed some of the Kingsman style action sequences that appear in the movie. It does seem like some of the best in the franchise, if I'm being honest. Some of them. Now, nothing can compare to that church sequence, but some of these action sequences are better than the second movie, and there are some things that are better than the second movie. I think the characters in this movie are a lot more deep and have a lot more depth than where they went in the second film. But this is a lot deeper of a story, a lot more grounded of a story, a lot more human of a story in some aspects. So it kind of adds a little bit to the Kingsman formula and goes a bit of a different direction. So I really do enjoy Ralph Fiennes, the rest of the cast. I really enjoy some of the score. I definitely like these action sequences, and there is just a lot to offer here. I mean, wardrobe is great, but let's get into some things that don't quite work. And unfortunately, I gotta start out with the wartime setting. I don't think it works for the Kingsman espionage pulpy feel that I got from the other movies. I think that it tries to be really serious, and while that works in a character aspect and developing these deeper, more grounded characters that are a little more relatable, unfortunately it suffers from this wartime setting that just doesn't mesh well with the Kingsman franchise, in my opinion. The Kingsman franchise is supposed to be this like espionage-y, really pulpy, like kind of over the top type of series, and I think that a wartime setting, blending that in, just doesn't feel like a good formula to me. And unfortunately, the first half of this movie is a lot to sit through. It's a lot to sit through. There's not a lot of action, not a lot going on. It drags. Like the first half, unfortunately, I think if the first half were a lot more balanced with that second, I would definitely be giving this film a higher rating. But wow, that first half was a lot to get through. Very roughly paced. The scenes dragged on a little too long. So unfortunately, that first half just was not it. And I think that some characters being over the top in this setting just didn't quite work. There are certain villains that are just super mustache twirling, and that's very Kingsman, but again, it clashes with that early 20th century wartime setting. Unfortunately, it just doesn't blend too well because it is Kingsman. You do want that over the top mustache twirly villain, but in the setting of war, I don't know, it just doesn't quite work for me and doesn't quite mesh well with me. Pacing issues all throughout that first half, and even the second half there are still some pacing issues, and while the characters are deeper, I'm not entirely sure if it really matches the Kingsman aura. So guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments, but if I had to give a rating to the Kingsman, Y'all, I would go about a 6.5 out of 10. I think that this is better than the first, or I'm not better than the first, excuse me. This is better than the second Kingsman, not better than the first. But I definitely think out of all of the Kingsman series, it's that first one, then this one, and then the second one for me, because at least the characters have depth and the action sequences in this one are really, really good. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Are you a fan of the Kingsman franchise? Do you like the Golden Circle? Am I in the uncommon opinion here? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and we will see you next time on Geekly Goods.